Hello there, good people. Happy Friday. Welcome to It's a Shaw Thing. I'm your host, Rob Shaw, here to talk a little fantasy football. Time to get prepared for this weekend ahead. We're going to go over all the matchups that are favorable for your fantasy team. There's 4 of them, and we're going to start off with a couple of bad teams. It's Kansas City hosting the Cleveland Browns. It's always good when 2 bad defenses go at it because that means a lot of fantasy points will be put up on the board. As far as Cleveland, the player to focus in on is Joshua Cribbs. Yeah, I don't know what position to put him at. He's clearly a wide receiver in your fantasy league, but he's starting to become a running back in the NFL. So make sure you have him in. He should get at least 50 yards rushing, and that counts just as good as receiving yards. Also, a guy you want to concentrate on, Brady Quinn, enjoying some good success here and there against some of the inferior opponents. Now, on the other side of the ball for Kansas City, oh boy, Jamal Charles has been fantastic recently. 5 straight games with a touchdown. I've been saying that a couple of times this week. I am so high on Jamal Charles. He's a top 5 running back this weekend in the NFL. Also, Matt Castle against an inferior opponent, even though he was horrendous last week. And also, welcome back to Wayne Bowe after your 4-game suspension. I'll tell you, against the Browns, he might be able to come in there and at least get 60 or so receiving yards. Next, we move to the Houston Texans against the St. Louis Rams. This one's pretty one-sided. Houston, you got to start Andre Johnson, Matthew Schaub. Also, this is a new guy. His name is Arian Foster. Should be fantastic from Tennessee, undrafted. Getting an opportunity, looked pretty good last weekend. I talked about him earlier in the week. He's going to get the start for the Houston Texans this weekend at running back. You got to consider starting him against a team like the Rams. For those Rams, Steven Jackson's the only guy to consider. We move on now to Tampa Bay against Seattle. Again, a couple of bad teams going at it. Seattle should bounce back with big numbers from Matt Hasselbeck. Remember, Nate Burleson out for the year, so TJ Houshmandzadeh, and I don't know about the tight end, but TJ Houshmandzadeh, the only wide receiver worth starting this weekend for that team. As far as Tampa Bay, Antonio Brown doesn't have to deal with Darrelle Revis, so that's great news for him. He should have decent numbers. Josh Freeman, I'm not crazy about him, but if you're looking, you're a little desperate, need a second quarterback to start, you could throw him out there. He should do better than all the other rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. Finally, New York Giants against Washington. Why? Because the Giants' secondary is such a mess that I expect big numbers once again from Jason Campbell. Fred Davis having a remarkable season filling in for the injured Chris Cooley. You could start him. I think his name's Quentin Ganther. Also a guy worth starting in the backfield for the Redskins. As far as the Giants, the usual allotment at the receiving position. Steve Smith, Mario Manningham, Kevin Boss. All good starts. Same with Eli Manning. And Brandon Jacobs also. Always a good chance he's going to get a touchdown. That's all for now. Enjoy the weekend. I'm Rob Shaw, signing off.